visual scan. All clear? Clear. Alright, now. So good morning, everyone. Did you guys enjoy Camp Aventura? How many of you saw Miss Piggy, our albino python? Few people, she's my favorite one. My name's Emily. I'm going to be your tour guide for the second half of our safari adventure. We're joined with us by Alma and our fantastic driver Al. So I want everyone to say hello to Al for me. Alright, so if you guys look over to your right hand side, you'll see plenty more of our Grand zebra. They are literally all over the place. And you also see our red lechwe up there. I see one of our males, a couple females hanging all the way in the back. Our red lechwe are a marsh-dwelling animal. These guys have significantly longer hind limbs than they do front limbs. That's why they're able to move around so much more easily in marshy environments. So as we get headed down our hill here, we like to call this Inspiration Point. I have a conservation message for you guys from Demon Wilds.
We're sitting at my favorite vantage point in the whole park. We're proud to say that in addition to bringing people like you to our animals, we're also playing a key role in animal conservation. Our goal is to maintain the healthy population of species, especially those most vulnerable to the wild.
You'll see plenty of our Canada geese down there on the right-hand side. We have no shortage of Canada geese around the safari. Now you'll see one of our mute swans on the right-hand side, way out in the middle of those Canada geese. Mute swans aren't truly mute, but they just make a lot less noise and are a lot quieter than your traditional swan. These guys peep at their predators or potential threats, whereas your traditional swan will honk at people. It's pretty obnoxious. That's why we like our mute swans to have them here instead of your traditional swan. Conservation message that Demon Wilds was just mentioning to you guys is largely in part for our Serengeti grasslands, which we'll be heading into right now. See one of our giraffes on the left over there. People saying hello. We do have a couple different species here that we're pretty keen on conservation with. The scimitar horned oryx you saw back on the wild plains. They're being completely extinct in the wild. We do like to hope to have lots of babies. We've had 3 successful newborns so far this year. And also, everyone in this section is either critically endangered or threatened. You'll see down there on the right-hand side, that's called the addicts, the desert-dwelling nomad. So these guys don't actually have a permanent home. You'll never see them in the same spot twice throughout the day here at Safari. You can tell they're a desert-dwelling species by their nice light coats, perfect for a hot day like today. These guys also gave rise to the myth of the unicorn, because when explorers would see them out in the wild, from their sides, those 2 horns together look like only 1 horn. I think it might also have something to do with a lot of dehydration and some mirages out in the desert environment, but that's just my opinion. So coming up also on the right-hand side, you'll see a couple different species ahead, a few different species. The ones closest to us, the smallest ones, that is our black buck bachelor pad herd. They're all gentlemen here. They have those horns that spiral around 5 times. They get their name the black buck because of that nice dark colorations around their chest and their backs. You'll see 2 of them trying to duke it out over there. They're the smallest antelope species. All the way in the back we have the greater kudu, the 2nd largest antelope species. Only males have those beautiful spiraled horns. They spiral around 2.5 times. And if you look to the left all the way back there with his back to us, that is our sable antelope. He has 4-foot-long horns on top of his head that he uses to turn lions into shish kebabs. He'll actually allow predators to run right into him instead of running away from predators. Also on the right-hand side here, we have our white-tailed gnu. These guys are also pretty important to us because they used to be completely extinct in the wild, but thanks to recent conservation efforts, they've been reintroduced. There's about 4,000 of them now in the wild. Their populations are growing strong. Later in the season, we'll have a lot of white-tailed gnu babies. Now you saw 2 different new species today. That's why we have those cattle grids that we drive over here at Safari. It's not exactly good for conservation if the gnus will come together and make mutant new babies. See more of our black buck bachelor herd. different species of animals will pick out males when they reach maturity, so they will usually form these nice bachelor pad herds together. And we have no shortage of ostriches here. You'll be able to see way out there underneath that tree some guys that look almost like mountain goats. These guys are called the oodad. There's another one of our bachelor pad herds. Both males and females have those nice big horns. They almost look like leghorn horns. But the way you can tell males from females is that males have an extra patch of fur on their necks and the fronts of their legs. It's called chaps. And now we've entered Kingsland. This is the home to our lions. We have two different prides of lions here at Safari. We only put one out in a section at a time because they don't get along much like lions do in the wild. So we'll be able to drive across this moat here in the front so you guys can get a nice good view of them unobstructed by the fence. So our pride of lions here, we do have some head males. They're generally two brothers here, but in the wild, prides are ruled by one lead male. The female has her duties to take care of the cubs and bring back all the food and everything, but the males do have an equally important job. Being the head of their pride, they actually protect their young and their females from invading predators like hyenas, wild dogs, and even invading males. Because just like with our black buck and our oodads, males are also kicked out of the pride when they reach maturity, about 3 to 4 years of age. So they're left to fend for their own, either start their own prides or try and take over new ones. Now, male lions do have a much shorter lifespan in the wild due to this being kicked out so early. They only live to be about 9 to 12 years old. The females will live to be 15 to 17 years of age. But under human care, like here at our safari, they could live almost double that. Our lions are fed every single day. Each one of them eats anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds of food a day. But in the wild, they're not fortunate enough to eat every day. So they can eat as much as 40 to 75 pounds of food in a sitting. Males will eat first, females eating second, and cubs will eat last. Now, you guys might not think of these guys being near threatened. Their numbers were ranging in about 500,000 many years ago, but in the span of 50 years or less, their numbers are down to 20,000 individuals. Still a lot of lions, but considering rapid decrease in their population, it is a little bit of a concern to conservationists. You'll see two of our females sitting up on the hill here. Now at the very back of their home here, they have a very small watering hole. Now, much like your typical house cat, lions hate water, so they have a pretty small spot. You'll see one of our big males laying under that tree there. The rest of our males and females lying under that wooden pallet in the back. Lions only utilize water to drink, so that's why we don't need to give them a nice big water feature. And lions are one of the only social cats. That's why they form such large prides in the wild. You'll be able to see our oodads much better over here on the right. Have a female here. Her name is Nala. She's actually had 6 successful cub litters in her time here at Safari. She's taking care of most of them on her own. Maybe shared mom duties with another one of our females whose name is Queen. But now we're heading into our Black Bear Ridge section. You get to see a lot of our black bears. Black bears are one of the smallest bear species in the world, found in 49 states. The only state they're not found in is Hawaii. One of our big guys over there on the right. You'll be able to see plenty of them down the hill. They like to lay in the shade. They're just coming out of hibernation now, so they're trying to shed that nice heavy winter coat. They're pretty lazy, if you ask me. And you won't notice too many trees in their section. The only trees that they do have are separated by a small electric fence. That's because black bears are excellent climbers. You'll see them on top of those nice wooden pallets. You'll see we kind of have like a green monster that runs along the top of our fence. That's just to make sure that they don't climb out and try and integrate in the wild. Because being under human care for so long, they wouldn't actually know what to do too well in the wild because they're so used to being hand-fed. On the right-hand side up here, we have our first nursery. There's a mom and a cub in their burrow, probably sleeping. We do have another nursery coming down on our left-hand side. Mom and cub in there as well. Like I said, black bears are one of the smallest bear species. These guys can only weigh up to 400 pounds. See mom and cub back there. If you guys look behind that rock on the left-hand side, you'll see her name is Cinnamon Bear. She's our cinnamon-colored black bear. Black bears come in 7 different shades, ranging from their true black to an almost blonde color. You don't see these lighter colors too often in the wild because they are preyed upon much more quickly. I also see one of our big males in the water down there. Now that green stuff on top of the pond is not algae, it's actually a plant called duckweed. Bears, being opportunistic omnivores, eating plants and meat, will actually chow down on this duckweed while they're taking a nice little dip. So our gentleman down there, he might have his paws out of the water. You'll see him chomping along that stuff. The duckweed is highly nutritious. Hello, everyone! Nice lazies. Say hello. Hello! They're so cute. I just want to give them a nice big squeeze. That bear back there in the left-hand corner, her name's Quarter Bear. That's her spot. She doesn't share it with anyone. And our bears do love the winter time here. They stay out in the winter. You probably only saw one little house in this section, but they don't really need a big house to stay in the winter. They're so used to a colder environment. You'll see some of our birds down here. We have our sacred ibis, those cute little black and white guys. They're actually thought to be the bird form of a deity for ancient Egyptians, and pharaohs would actually have these guys mummified and buried with them in their tombs. You'll see our Chilean flamingos. And our eastern crowned crane, those 3 right in the middle there, one of the only crane species that can roost in trees. They get their name from that nice golden crown of feathers on top of their heads. Now when flamingos are born, they actually almost look just like swan chicks. They're this little gray ball of fluff. When they grow up to be adults, they actually are naturally white, only getting that nice pink coloration from their diet. A lot of shellfish, which contains the pigment carotene. It turns into that nice pink. But the Chilean flamingos don't get too bright. And over there on the left, those are our red and collie cattle, also known as Watusi cattle, after the tribe that first domesticated them. These guys have the largest horns of any animal in the world. They can span 6 feet from tip to tip and have circumferences as large as 37.5 inches. They're still used out in eastern cultures for largely pulling tractors and things, sometimes meat, sometimes getting their dairy for their milk and butter out there. We are going to be heading into our brown bear section. We call this section here Ursus, which translates to home of the bear. So I do have another video for you guys from our Luke Wilds.
Check out the bears. They're so cool. They love to play. They don't wear what they got in, like swimming, climbing, and running through mud.
Wrap up your food really good when you go camping. So bears have an excellent sense of smell. They'll smell that food out miles away. Chow down on it when you're not there. So you guys should get those cameras ready because we do have 2 more nurseries with bear cubs. Coming up on the left-hand side, you'll get to see Mom and our first set of bear cubs. Chowing down right there. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my God, they're so cute. I never get tired of seeing these guys. Hi, babies. Oh, there's plenty to go around. Oh my God, they're so sweet. Now they look just like the stuffed animal teddy bear, and that's actually how the teddy bear got its name. Theodore Roosevelt put in a nice protection layer for these guys, his nickname being Teddy. The traditional teddy bear looks exactly like a brown bear cub, so hence the name teddy bear. Now you probably noticed that Mom and cub are separated by the rest of the bear, from the rest of the bears, by a nice little electric fence. That's just because we want our cubs to have a fair chance of growing up nice and strong. But our brown bears are separated by an electric fence from our vehicles in general. You'll see Mom is under there. She does have a couple cubs under there with her. They're a little hard to see. Now black bears, being such a small species, are a lot more docile. That's why they're able to free roam around their home. But these European brown bears are a lot larger. These guys can get up to 700 or 800 pounds and are much more aggressive towards one another and other things. You'll see most bars lazing around. Looks like they were just fed their breakfast. Now when the warden feeds these guys, he actually feeds them their own individual piles of food. It's because if they were to share one big trough of food, they would actually fight one another for this food. Some bears might not even be getting any food at all because the larger, more dominant bears would push them away. You'll see they have a nice big watering hole here. They do love to swim. They're excellent swimmers. They have very long legs and large feet, but not such good climbers. That's why you'll see a lot of trees here. Their bodies are too large, their legs not being strong enough, they can't haul themselves up and down those trees. But cubs are excellent climbers. Mom will actually chase her cubs up a tree when a predator is near, much like a larger male, maybe even if some humans are strolling by. Cubs think that they're just playing, but Mom's actually teaching them a very vital life skill. We call it their hot tub over there on the left. That guy has been sitting there for the past 3 days. I don't think he's moved. So you'll see our bears, it does look like they might be separated by a fence, but coming up ahead on our left-hand side, you'll see a concrete tube. This tube actually runs underneath the road we're driving over, so they can get from one side to the other. And our bears do love to play. They actually play tag with one another. Two bears will be chasing each other, then they'll run up behind another, smack it on the rump and run away, and that bear will start chasing them again. They'll even wave at our wardens in our zebra trucks to get some free fruit. And on the left-hand side up here, you'll see Spot and Scarlet. These are our bear cubs, very near and dear to our hearts here. Hello, babies. These guys are about 2 years old. They are hand-raised by our animal and veterinary staff here at Safari. They're also separated from the rest of our bears because they are still too young to be fully integrated. They're a little bit too small. So in another year or two, another 100 or 200 pounds later, they'll be big enough, so we'll be able to let them run free with the rest of their bear friends. Scarlet still does climb the occasional tree. They're still small enough to be able to do so. That might be Scarlet right up there on the hill. They actually love to sit in that corner right there. They would do it all the time last year. They would sit in that corner, laying down together. They'd actually suck on each other's thumbs and they would hum to one another because it's their natural instinct to hum. It's how they stimulate mom's milk when they're bear cubs. So they'll actually sit there. It almost sounds like a cat purring. They're so cute. Now, you need to leave it open. I think these ones stay open. Yeah, so we're good. So right now we've just entered protected New Jersey wetlands area, so by law we can't build on it. That's why it's left nice and natural like this. This is actually what New Jersey would look like before settlers came in and built on it. Mostly who you'll see in this section is a lot of native species like our white-tailed deer. You'll see them usually later on in the evening way out in the back there, but you'll see a lot of turtles and snakes, maybe you'll hear some bullfrogs. But a lot of people, birds that hang out in here are migratory bird species. You won't see them all year long because they only stop here for migration. They can migrate as far as from Maine to Costa Rica. So you might see some strange species floating around here earlier in the season. It's actually the right tail end of migration season. So you won't see too many guys in here. We did have the pleasure of dropping off an alligator snapping turtle in here last year. He's made a nice home of the place. Right now I do have another video for you guys. A bald eagle nesting pair here at Six Flags. They used to nest here in our wetlands area, but as the years gone on, they've moved closer and closer to all the noise and the action, actually making their nest right behind our fireworks building. so I guess all the noise is pretty distracting. They have had successful eaglets, baby eagles, for the past 5 years. Been able to go up and tag them. We're able to keep track on them. Grown up to be nice, healthy adults. But right now we're out to head into our Didgeridoo Pass. This is our Australia section of the safari. So you get to see our red kangaroos and our emus. And then after we see these guys, we're going to see one of people's favorites, our tigers. That'll be our last section of safari. So you guys want to keep your eyes peeled because our kangaroos do like to hide out in the shade on hot days like today. They could be along the fence line off to the right, or they could be hanging out in the trees on the left. So you guys want to keep those eyes peeled. We do actually have a mom with a Joey right now. Joey's getting pretty big. He's really cute. He was able to stick his head out and say hello to us yesterday, so maybe he'll do the same for us today. Now when Joeys are born, they're born prematurely, only about the size of a lima bean, so they're only about this big. Now it takes them about 6 months to fully develop in mom's pouch. But then after that 6 months, they're actually able to leave mom's pouch at her discretion to be able to bounce around and kind of get their feet underneath of them. You'll see some laying up here on the right-hand side, nice and lazy. And after that 8 months, Joey is fully developed, so he doesn't even need to go back into mom's couch anymore. You'll see some males and females over there. The way you can distinguish males from females is that males have a very bright red coat. That's how they get their name, red kangaroo. They actually produce an oil on their back that gives them this nice red color. Females don't have the same capability. You'll see this nice big gentleman laying down here on the right underneath the bush. His name's Boomer. He loves to give hugs. Sometimes when the wardens are cleaning out their house over there, he'll actually hop up to him, give him a nice big squeeze, and then hop away. He's got his hug fixed for the day. You'll see our emus on the left right-hand side over there. Emus are the last of our rat-type species, the large flightless birds. Females and males look pretty much identical. It's pretty hard to tell one from the other based on the external features that we can see. See another one over here on the right. They have a nice bright blue neck and side of head by those ear holes. Actually pretty closely corresponds to their egg color. Their eggs are a nice dark bluish green color. These guys are a little scary when they run because they actually stick their neck straight out in front of them and chase each other around. They're kind of goofy. You'll see them at their feeders on the... You'll see plenty of them on the right. We actually do have a blind emu here. He follows a couple other emus around. Here's more of our kangaroos on the left over there. Kangaroos do box one another. Males will duke it out during mating season, and younger joeys will actually box one another to practice for adulthood. Bless you. They're more or less playing around. They can actually use that tail almost like a third leg, balancing on only their tail to kick one another, even kick potential predators. They have one of the strongest kicks of any animal. They also use these powerful legs to propel themselves at a distance of 20 feet. They can even jump 10 feet in the air. With all these powerful legs, they can't hop backwards. They just don't have the proper leg mechanics to do so. But both the emu and the red kangaroo are on the seal or crest of Australia's flag. So now we're heading into Tigris Asiana. This is our tiger section. You're going to get to see our lovely tigers here. So I do have another video for you guys to kick things off.
Siberian tigers are also really cool. They're the biggest cats in the world, weighing 600 to 700 pounds. In the wild, when they eat, they can eat up to 75 pounds of one meal. And that's more than my dad. And he loves to eat. Exactly.
So if you look down on the right in our pine, you'll see some of our black swans. These guys are a nomadic swan species, so they always find a new home. They have a couple little babies down there with them. Probably 2 females and a male. The swans do mate for life, but if they do so happen to lose their mate, they will find another. Now you'll see our first Bengal tiger on the right-hand side. His name is Kirill. He's our largest Bengal tiger here at Safari. He weighs in at about 550 pounds. He's being pretty lazy right now. He probably just got woken up. Bengal tigers come in 4 different color variations. That nice white and black that we just saw, they're true orange and black. But a couple other very rare color combinations that you'll see. One of them is called a golden tabby tiger. These are a nice butterscotch color with very dark orange stripes. And the rarest coloration of all is a solid white Bengal tiger. They're not albino or leucistic. They just have so many recessive genes that it turns them a solid white color. Looks like you guys are going to get to see our golden tabby tigers today. We have two here at Safari. Their names are King Jakat and Rena. They're brother and sister. Now, tigers are solitary animals. That's why you won't usually see them together in the wild. But here at Safari, we do group them together based on because they're family members. Brothers and sisters do get along if they've been raised together ever since they were cubs, especially under human care. And you'll notice there's a lot of turkey vultures in this section, those large black birds. Our tigers are fed every single day here, about 10 to 15 pounds of food as well. Whatever the tigers don't finish, the turkey vultures will actually finish for them.
Hello,
see one of our lovely golden tabbies right here. Hello, pretty. Nope.
Yeah, not nice.
I'm always so afraid they're going to turn around and pee on the truck one day to like mark the truck as theirs. That's actually what they're doing right now. They're marking their territory. You'll also notice that our tigers have a lot of water features in their homes. That's because tigers, unlike any other cats, they love water. They'll swim in it, they'll play in it, they even use it to their advantage when they're taking down prey. You'll see our Siberians up here on the left. Siberians are the largest cats in the world. They can weigh over 700 pounds. Now when a tiger is chasing their prey, they'll actually chase their prey right into a watering hole. The prey, thinking that it can escape pretty easily by swimming away, is actually mistaken. Tigers, being excellent swimmers, will hunt this prey down in the water, probably drown it, have a nice dinner. We have a few different sets of tigers, so that's why you'll see them marking their territory over and over and over again. We're not so good at sharing. You'll see our other Bengal stalking those bison out there. That's what they do. They know there's an animal out there that they should probably be hunting, even if it's not found in the same country as you, mister. That's a bison. You're not from North America. That is so funny. I love when they do that. It's so cool to see them stalking their prey. You'll see three of our Siberian siblings on the left-hand side up here. Now you can also notice their white spots in the back of their ears. Siberians only come in this black and gold coloration. Well, you'll see those white spots. That's actually how tigers identify one another. Humans, we recognize each other by our faces, but tigers can identify each other by smell and those spots on the backs of their ears. You may have heard of animals being nocturnal, active at night, diurnal, active during the day, but tigers are crepuscular, meaning they're most active at dawn and dusk when the sun is cresting. These guys have excellent eyesight and hearing, so they have the keenest, sharpest eyesight at dusk and dawn. So usually very late in the day here at Safari, you'll see them stalking the trucks along the fences. Safari. Did you guys enjoy the second half of your safari adventure today? Awesome. Everyone wave bye to Claire. Bye, Claire. So does anybody have any questions for me about any of the animals they saw at our safari today? I was waiting for it. I get at least one person to ask. So they're asking about the baboons. We still have our baboons here on premise, very well taken care of. It just wasn't ready for them to be integrated into safari this summer. So next summer they will be part of our safari. It would have taken us, a few months long to have them here. So you guys will definitely be able to see them next summer. Don't be too pouty. Don't be too pouty just yet. Come on, there's plenty of other